서울 청담초등학교 다니는 신승표입니다. Education is supposed to be a solution for inequality. However, if education is only provided in certain areas, it becomes a cause of inequality. We should make sure no child gets left behind. So I believe we have to eliminate three main hindrances that block quality education. The regional disparities between urban and rural areas are main obstacles to education. Regionally isolated schools receive very little governmental support. Government budgets are distributed to cities first because they favor the development of urban elites. Resources such as classrooms, textbooks, or teachers are in low quality in rural areas. Also, cultural and language differences aren't considered in rural education. Teachers tend to ignore the cultural differences and language barriers. The society needs fair distribution of government funding to all regions. Also, there has to be specific requirements for rural education to reflect cultural backgrounds. Another hindrance is the prejudice that causes discrimination. Gender stereotypes and norms still exist all around the world. Especially in developing nations, people believe women have to be housewives and don't need education. Globally, among the 124 students out of school, 63 are women. More than half of the uneducated population are prevented from learning because of sexual discrimination. Not only gender, but race and disabilities can also be a reason for discrimination. Therefore, schools must have mandatory quota systems that accept a certain number of female students. In countries like Jamaica, Tanzania, and Papua New Guinea have started to use quota systems for a change. Entering the abusive environment of child labor also hinders education. In countries like Nepal or Bhutan, children are pushed into severe child labor because of poverty. Child labor has abusive and hazardous backgrounds. Therefore, the environment prevents children from knowing their basic rights to get quality education. They get paid less than 10 cents a day after working 12 to 16 hours. Due to poverty, children have no way but to repeat this vicious cycle. Therefore, all governments must regulate child labor through laws and regular investigations. As long as child labor exists, children will always be lured into the industry for money. Instead, they must enter mandatory primary education. Everyone desires a world where they could get equal happiness. For this dream to come true, we must realize the sustainable goals in the global society. The first step must be quality education.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When you were researching your speech,
Yes.
you were looking at child labor.
Yes.
How did it make you feel when you were thinking about children having to work all day?
I didn't know about these stuff actually, but when we see television, and we all see these advertisements related to they're living a poor life and having a very hard time. Seeing this, I got kind of curious. Do these kids get like the same thing as us? So I thought we have to solve this out in the global society because we all deserve the same thing, and we have the power to get equal education to everybody. So I got interested in this topic, so I put it in one of the hindrances.
And one question, do you think in Korea, they have pretty good education program. Most people go to school in Korea, 98% is literate. Where do you think that inequality exists in your country here in terms of education?
I think in kind of Korea, there's kind of these prejudice between men and women.
Okay.
Because I think it's because of the prejudice that came from history, but usually women don't get the same deserve as men get in the Korean society and education. So I believe these kinds of hindrances exist in Korean education.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.